Christopher Media. Let's make some noise. From Asthma Core Studios near Detroit, Michigan.
Oh, man.
It's the Weedsman Podcast.
I have no idea what's going on.
And now,
you have smoked yourself retarded.
Here are the Weedsmen.
You want to get high?
All right. Welcome to the Weedsman Podcast. Or, I guess, are we? Yeah. Welcome in.
What?
Huh? What's happening?
No, I think normally you say welcome and then you say your name.
I'm Chris.
Yeah, and then I say I'm Aaron.
Yes.
And now we're doing a podcast.
Yes.
And it's all just free form from there. That is the extent of the structure of this podcast.
We took time off.
We generally say the same thing same sentence when we open and then the same sentence when we close. Everything in between, who knows?
And then steal a phrase from Doug Benson, and then it's a 45-minute fuck around.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're here in what is this, Studio 2.5 version?
Yeah.
Asthma Core.
2.5.
Still in the living room, in a temporary space. It is Memorial Day weekend. This episode will be dropping.
Yeah.
In
Detroit.
In the year of our Lord, 2025.
And in Detroit, that usually means the Electronic Music Festival.
Yes, it's Techno Christmas. is what they refer to it as locally now.
Oh, really? That's what they call it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Well, because also, all the successful Detroit DJs go away, right? They go to New York, they go to Germany, they go to all over the place. So for a lot of us who are friends with some of these DJs, this is our chance to see them. This is like Thanksgiving and Christmas where like everyone's home from college.
Okay. I was going to say, does Santa Claus have headphones on? Is he on Molly?
Yeah, everybody is. Or not so much Molly these days, I guess. Ketamine?
Yeah, what do you leave out for Techno Claus?
Yeah, a line of ketamine. That's a good,
leave out a line of Special K for Techno Claus.
Yeah.
Oh, I just ate myself by calling it Special K.
That's a good, average party drug, right? You know, it's not addictive in that cocaine way where if Santa comes and does a line at somebody's house and he's just going to want to do a line at the next person's house, right? And then just shit gets out of hand.
Yeah, but think about it. This is Techno Claus. He does all those lines. He's going to be in a K-hole by the end of the night.
Yes. Be like working
doing thousands of lines of K.
I had a night where I worked the door for a party and pretty much accepted whatever people gave me for entrance. Let's just say that. Yeah. The door was 15, but a joint, a bump.
Yeah.
What you got there?
Give me 10 and a pill and call it square.
I was asked that night, Aaron, what did you do? You responded,
what didn't I do?
I'm not sure. Yeah. I don't know.
It's more, here's the list of the drugs that I wasn't handed tonight. 3 things on it. Tylenol, Advil. Yeah,
so this is, what mostly all these events revolve around the movement festivals, what they call it now. Which, I guess I had forgotten this is the 25th year?
Yes.
Of the Movement Festival?
The movement. When did it become the movement? I still know it as the Detroit
on.
Electronic Music.
Electronic.
DEMF.
Yeah.
When did it stop being DEMF?
I don't know. There's a whole history that I'll totally get wrong. But the first couple years of the festival are very different from each other, behind the scenes wise. And then it kind of homogenized into a thing that is now being handled, I think, mostly by Paxow.
The last one I went to, the Ford Focus was involved.
Okay, I don't know.
There was a Ford Focus tent. I think it was the last year. It was still called, I don't know if it was called, I don't remember.
Yeah, I think there was an intermediary name for the third year of it. And I think maybe that was the year that Carl Craig was involved in organizing it.
I know it was at Hart Plaza. Is it still at Hart Plaza?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, the
okay.
location has always been the same. But yeah, it's just become, it's become so crazily commercial that like, there's very few acts that I would even have interest in seeing this year. And the ones that I would, they're playing at better places where I'm not going to have to fight through crowds, pay $20 for a soft pretzel, and, deal with weather. I can be in an indoor warehouse breathing asbestos like you should be while listening to techno.
Use that the movement. I've been listening to the electronic music. If I've heard of any of these people,
you want to talk commercial though? Like some of the movement festival looks damn near underground when compared to some of the festivals out there across the world. They just had, I think it's EDC is what they call it. I can't remember what it stands for, but it takes place in Vegas. It's in a huge place, thousands and thousands of people come out to see it. It's like, a Burning Man style, like rave. And, people, on social media, lots of people were sharing videos of their time at it. I didn't catch a glimpse of any music that sounded worth listening to.
how am I supposed to read this?
What are you
I have it
looking
on
at?
old people settings on my phone
There's
too.
a lot of people on there. You can blow it up. Pinch and zoom.
Beatloaf. There's a guy named Beatloaf, or a thing, or right? There's someone named Beatloaf.
There's someone named Beatloaf. Beatloaf. Yeah, they were showing some of the prices at this EDC in Vegas for food. It was like $100 for a pizza.
What?
Not a huge one either. Just a regular pizza, would feed you probably 4 slices of pizza.
Gay Marvin.
$50 for a hamburger with fries. I don't know. How is anyone supposed to have fun in an environment like that? And if you tell me drugs, I tell you, stay home and fucking turn your screensaver on and get yourself an old X-Mix. Get X-Mix 2, Laurent. Throw that shit on. Actually, just go find the video. The X-Mix had videos, so you don't even need a screensaver. But on top of that, so
bunch of people.
There was, I can't remember the name of the artist, but it was somebody who plays at huge festivals like this, and he was doing an AMA, Ask Me Anything. And he was asked about if he had ever played a fake set. And he was kind of getting irate, like, what do you mean fake? What are you trying to say? Like, what's fake about what I'm doing? And then the person clarified, have you ever played a pre-recorded set? Have you ever just came with an hour-long set MP3 and just played that and then faked like you were mixing? And then he calmed down immediately and he was like, oh yeah. No, that's standard practice. He's like, you do something like EDC? He's like, I'm pretty sure they don't let anybody not play because there's so much money on the line that they don't let you play live. You come with your set, your pre-approved set that you hit play on, and then you work the knobs like the mixer's actually hooked up to something and wave your hands in the air. And what is the fucking point other than drugs?
Right.
And I'm not obviously
Commerce. Don't forget commerce.
As
the United
previously,
States.
I'm saying for the people going there, right?
Yeah.
Or I guess seeing other people dressing up. So I don't know. As previously established, I'm not against drugs, but
it's fairly obvious by the title of the show.
But drugs are just one of the many things that pair well with good music and good people.
Agreed.
And if you take away the good music and the good people, and you just left with the drugs, again, stay home.
Yeah, everyone I know on that list is old. So I'm old. Like DJ Godfather, Kevin Saunderson,
Yeah.
Carl Craig,
Yeah, I mean,
Goldie.
look, they're real DJs.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it about Kevin Saunderson, Godfather, of course. Like, these guys are not going to go on and play pre-recorded sets. They're going to play live. They're probably going to play vinyl, for that matter. And they put on great shows. Carl Craig is not like the best DJ, in my opinion, but he has such impeccable taste in music and knows how to like mix well enough to make it vibe well, you know. So like, they're all worth seeing. Well, not all of them, I shouldn't say. There's a great many people at that festival worth seeing. But goddamn it, I mean, like, I've seen them all before. I don't need to see them in that environment, out in the open, fighting massive crowds of people dressed like idiots.
Festival was always good. People watching.
Yeah, I mean, like the first 3 years I went. And after that, it was like maybe I would pop in to see a friend.
So no glow sticks for you this weekend?
No, well, come on, man.
Maybe one?
There was never going to be glow sticks.
Oh.
There was never glow sticks. There's never any glow sticks.
That's the title of your autobiography?
Yes.
There's never going to be any glow sticks.
There never was, never will be. Those have always been bullshit. But goddamn, kids these days have got it made when it comes to like little stupid toys that like light up and.
How
like,
about
shit.
also?
I mean, just your fucking vape there would drive people nuts at a
right.
fucking rate. They'd be fucking holding that shit. They'd be they'd strap it to their face to shine right.
There's
in
a
their
mode
eyes.
on here where like a rocket ship shows up.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Oh wow.
Oh no, wait, I turned it off.
Is there a discrete mode with no lights?
No. Yeah, it's called off. Yeah. Here you go. There's rocket mode.
Wow.
Oh, basically. There's a whole bunch of shit going on over here. Oh.
That seems like excessive, especially for something that you're going to
this
throw
is
away.
definitely for young people.
Yeah.
But like I said, I like the flavors. I like they last me 2 weeks. I like there's the number attached to my battery life and my vape juice level.
Yep.
I mean, I was using geek items before, but this thing is,
Yeah.
I like it. I was using their modular shit at the end when I was vaping.
I like that their stuff seems to be designed ergonomically.
Yeah.
This thing's just
I like
a
that this
brick.
is bigger. That I started out with the one that's smaller, and it's like it feels like it's the same size as my headphones. Kept confusing it with my headphones, so this one's a little bigger.
Oh, like your iPod case, you're saying, or your whatever you got.
Yeah, this. Yeah, the other one's about this size too.
Oh, okay.
And I kept confusing it. So the other one only lasts like 10 days. Yeah. I get 2 weeks out of this one.
Ended up choking on one of your earbuds.
Yeah, right. Earbuds taste horrible. This isn't watermelon.
Yeah, people would be like, I think Chris is choking. Is he breathing? No, he's just, what is he saying? Is that Mark Maron?
Right.
There's a podcast coming out of his mouth.
I haven't listened to that guy in years.
Yeah. What's your number one these days?
Still Drew. It's the Drew Lane Show now. He had to change his name for legal purposes. And then so with the Ace Man.
I like checking out a lot of different podcasts. I don't stick with all of them.
I brought in Shane Gillis. His podcast has come in to the fold in the last couple of years. Him and Matt McCusker.
This week dropped the first episode of Rob Morrow's and Janine Turner's podcast about Northern Exposure. I can't remember what they call it, but that would be enough to find it if one was curious. And this is to celebrate that Northern Exposure is available on streaming in the U.S. for the first
shocking.
time.
No, you don't say.
Yeah. No, it hasn't been available for a while. And I started rewatching it, so I'm only on episode 2. But they used a lot of really good music in that show. And in the dark days where it wasn't available, I would just end up torrenting seasons. And what you would usually find was the US DVD release, which had a lot of the original music swapped out. So instead of the
licensing.
Yeah, the licensing issues got in the way. And instead of that pivotal moment when Chris slings the piano through the air with his homemade trebuchet to the tune of Procol Harum's Whiter Shade of Pale, it is now like some Bach piece that's in the public domain.
Scrubs went through that too.
Yeah.
And there was a big deal, I think they made because the ones on Hulu now have all the music cleared or some shit.
Yeah.
It's either on Amazon or Hulu. They got all the music cleared to do it.
So, Northern Exposure is flat out my favorite show ever. And it's the one that I keep going back to. And every time that I've watched it, numerous times I've gone through and watched this at different stages in my life. And it never feels stale. I mean, the fashion is of that early 90s period, you know. Everyone's hair's a little big. Everyone's pants are a little baggy.
And beige.
Yeah, a lot of beige.
Timberlands.
But really, that's only just the Joel character, because everybody else is just, you know, jeans and t-shirts, and they're dressed like.
It was Alaska.
Yeah.
You're dressed half like a lumberjack.
Right.
You're lumbersexual.
Yeah. So it's kind of out of time, even in its own time it was. But it doesn't feel dated as far as, like, you know, the stuff that they talk about. You know, it's a timeless show. And, I'm excited to give it another rewatch. I don't know if I'll stick with the podcast because they're kind of boring, but they're going to have, the first one was just the two of them. They're going to have some guests on, including, what's his name that played Chris? He was on, Sex and the City.
Mr. Big?
No, he didn't play Mr. Big. He was the sensitive one with the long hair. He was in My Big Fat Greek Wedding. I can't remember his fucking name. It's escaping me at the moment. But yeah, hopefully they'll have some interesting guests on.
Well, it sounds like it's probably a rewatch, so yeah.
Yeah, it's a rewatch. But
I would expect other members of the cast to make an appearance.
Yeah. They didn't do like a plot recap, which I'm kind of okay with. But on the other hand, part of doing a recap of the plot actually helps walk the people that were involved in making it through that, and they come up, that's how they come up with stories of like, oh yeah, that's right, this scene, and I remember we did this and that. Without that, it's just the two of them going back and forth of like, you were great, everybody was great. Wasn't everybody great? Wasn't the show great? You're like, yeah, okay, this is an hour. And Janine Turner is like,
most rewatch podcasts
is bringing up God like way too many times for my liking.
Like, I love Scrubs, but I don't think I made it past season 6.
Yeah.
Just because it's essentially, that is every rewatch podcast. Same thing with The Office ladies.
Well, I'll give it to, so like the guys who do Veep, they are really good because like I said, they do a recap. They go through the plot of the episode, and in that process, they come up with like, oh, I remember it was going to be this. Like originally in the script, it said I was going to say this and you were going to react this way or whatever the fuck. So we get like some almost like outtakes and shit like that, and actual behind the scenes shit.
Both those podcasts I named, and they do a lot of that too. You know, ask them if they remember what went on when they were shooting and stuff like that. But at the same time,
that's what I'm saying. You've got to have a prompt of some sort. If you just say, what do you remember? Then everybody's got the story about filming, and they remember, you know, something that they would share at a dinner party or something like that. But you walk them through the process more step by step, and that's how you get them to dig deeper on these things and get more interesting stories. But yeah, speaking of old television shows, we lost George Wendt today.
Oh,
not today, this last week.
So that's why he wasn't on SNL to do a Pope.
Well, I don't know if that was the only reason.
I mean, Mike Myers has been kicking around there. He was on. Did you see him last week?
No. I haven't checked out SNL for a minute.
The premise Well, no, I don't either, but some things filter to me through, like the good stuff, I guess, filters to me through the internet, through my Google feed. And, it was, the premise was he was stuck in an elevator with Kanye. It was kind of funny.
But Mike Myers was stuck in an elevator with Kanye? Wait, who was playing Kanye?
Keenan.
Oh, okay. And it was just, he was playing himself, though?
Yes.
Mike Myers was.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I mean, if you remember, he was the guy standing next to Kanye when he said George Bush doesn't like black people.
Oh, okay. That's a detail that I did not remember.
Yes.
And actually, like, put some context around this. Okay.
He was the guy standing there stunned going, holy shit, what's this fucking guy saying? You know that was his internal dialogue. Like, oh my God, what is happening right now?
Yeah, George Wendt, who of course played Norm Peterson. I know that his character's last name was Peterson.
Oh, yeah, I knew his name was Peterson.
Yeah.
What was his wife's name?
No.
Remember?
I don't know.
Vera,
yes. Did we met, wasn't there an episode where we actually met Vera?
I'm not sure if we ever saw her. I know she was always a voice. Anyway, yeah, I know she was.
I'm seeing I think we're getting some interference from something. It might be my device here. Yeah.
But she was always a voice. I know that was the gag, right?
I seem to remember an episode where Cliff, like, they had to go get Norm for some reason. They like had to go to his house. It was Cliff and what's his name? The Ted Danson role. Cliff and Sam, I believe, were the ones that went to his house. But I don't remember. I think she was still just a voice.
Maybe.
Like they talked to her from the other room.
Fun fact, that was his real wife.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wendt earned 6 Emmy nods in the supporting actor in a comedy series across 11 seasons of Cheers. It's 11 seasons of Cheers. He would go on to reprise the role in appearances on the short-lived spin-off, The Tortellis. I don't remember that.
I don't even remember that.
And the long-running spin-off Frasier. Did he made some Frasier appearances?
Oh, I'm sure every now and then on Frasier. Yeah, I think a few of them showed back up for some flimsy excuse. Like either Frasier went to Boston or one of them came to Seattle.
Like they were always making fun of Frasier.
Well, yes and no. He was there every day. He was definitely one of the.
He was one of the gang.
Yes.
But he wasn't an OG. Wasn't he a later addition?
Yeah, because he was dating Diane.
Oh, that's how he came about.
Yes.
That's right.
And I think the story is like he meshed so well with the cast. They kept bringing him back for recurring and then just made him a cast member.
Yeah. Well, I think that they realized that they don't have a stiff to play off of. And that's what he added. Right, he was the fucking straight man.
Well, especially too, if you're going to say you're a bar in Boston, there's like 2 colleges in Boston,
right? Yeah, you'd figure there'd be some professorial types, and then of course that also introduced us to what was his wife's name?
Who? Oh, Lilith.
Lilith. But I'm trying to remember the actor.
Bebe Neuwirth.
Bebe Neuwirth. Oh my God, I had such a crush on Lilith. She is so, I mean, first of all, of course, because Bebe Neuwirth is like smoking hot. Even to this day is smoking hot. But yeah, sure. Her playing like the, prissy librarian type, shall we say? Yes. If she was typecast, you know. Was she a therapist or
she was a fellow professor.
She was a professor. Okay.
And, you know, Cliff with the greatest answer in Jeopardy history.
What?
Do you remember on Final Jeopardy?
I remember the gag, but I don't remember the joke.
Cliff's final, who are 3 people who have never been in my kitchen?
Yeah. Well, technically correct. Not the answer we're looking for. You've, of course, appeared on the SNL.
Yes.
With the aforementioned Mike Myers and also...
Smigel.
And Smigel, that's right. And Chris Farley.
2 of the super fans are dead.
2 of this. Oh, yeah.
They should get Smigel and Mike Myers to put on the Bears sweaters one time this weekend and pour one out.
But Wendt co-hosted a 1986 episode with director Francis Ford Coppola,
Yes.
then preparing to release Peggy Sue Got Married. Philip Glass
Yes.
was a musical guest.
Right?
What the fuck?
Yes.
What did Philip Glass do on?
I don't know. It was the 80s, and cocaine made everything a good idea.
Did he do like the soundtrack for Peggy Sue Got Married? I mean, that.
George Wendt had to show up and be like, what the fuck am I doing here? We have Francis Ford Coppola and Philip Glass. Why am I here? Or maybe he knew exactly why I was there. Like, you have Francis Ford Coppola and Philip Glass on a comedy show? What is wrong with you people?
Here's some trivia for you. So, Wendt is the uncle to another SNL alum. Any guesses?
Jason Sudeikis.
Yes.
I think we possibly read the same article.
Yeah. I did not know that. That is wild.
I didn't either.
But I also feel like George Wendt, I feel like he may have appeared in more movies than anybody else from that cast. Like, obviously, Ted Danson went on to have great success in both movies
He's in
and
like
television
two other
shows.
long-running TV shows. He had,
Who, George Wendt?
Danson.
Danson, yes.
Like, Becker was on for like 5 or 6
Yeah.
years. Then he was on The Good Place.
I'm not saying less visibility or more visibility than the others. I'm saying for, like, if you just looked at their IMDb, I bet you George Wendt's longer than even Ted Danson.
Let's try the AI thing.
Are you going to ask AI?
Oh.
What's AI say?
It is not George Wendt. I feel it's like right in front of your face and you're not even thinking about it.
What?
Like who it could be.
Shelley Long?
No.
I don't know.
Remember when you had kids? Think real hard.
We
still have kids. Remember when they were little? Yeah, right. Yeah.
Jesus, what happened?
Yeah. Remember when your children were little? Think real hard.
Yeah. I don't know.
John Ratzenberger.
John Ratzenberger.
Well,
what
first
about
of all,
him?
he's the voice of Ham in Toy Story and all the Toy Story movies.
Oh.
But it's all voice acting for him. It's all like kids movies and voice acting.
Of course, Woody Harrelson. He's been in a lot of fucking movies. George Wendt was in MASH, Airplane 2, the sequel, Garfield on the Town, Dreamscape, Garfield in the Rough. On St. Elsewhere, he's in Fletch, in the movie House, the one about the haunted house. You remember that one? He's in Gung Ho. He's in the Twilight Zone TV show.
The 80s were good to George Wendt.
I'm skipping a bunch of these, but he's in he shows up in Wings, Tales from the Crypt, Michael Jackson Black or White Video,
Oh, yeah. Remember he's the dad telling Macaulay to turn it down.
Seinfeld, Forever Young, is that a Soul Asylum Video, Larry Sanders Show, The Simpsons, of course, shows up on Columbo, The George Wendt Show, 8 episodes, never heard of it. That was in
It was on CBS, allegedly.
1995, huh? So, anyway. He just seemed like he was the guy who would pop up a lot in small roles throughout the 80s and 90s.
Yeah, it sounds like the 80s were his heyday.
80s were the heyday.
And he was 76. So for an obese person, he did it. He got to average life expectancy. He didn't get to live on house money, but he did it. He got to the average finish line. And for a fat guy, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah. How old's Trump again?
Oh, he's already over it. He's like 78.
Yeah,
Like he's going to
for
be
no reason.
He's going to be I think he's going to be like how old Biden was at the end of his last term.
Yeah. Trump and his golden dome.
Of course it's golden.
Yeah. Have you heard about this one?
Was it? Yeah, we're trying to do like the Israel Iron Dome thing for us. For North America, I should say.
I mean, it's Star Wars all over again, right?
Right. Canada said they're in allegedly.
They're in on the plan.
Yeah, he said they want in.
I don't know.
That's Trump, right? He said. I always tell people.
According to Trump.
What I tell people, he says a lot of things. Like Trump said this. Yeah.
Yeah. He asked him. I think he asked him if they wanted to be in the P Club. You know what? You know that one?
Oh boy.
You want to be in the P Club?
This is like a middle school joke I'm walking into. You're about to pee on me.
Do you want to be in the P Club?
No.
Okay. Are you sure?
What if I say yes? Then if I say yes, what happens?
You're in.
Yeah, oh, okay. Gotcha. No one's peeing on me. That's all I care about. Yeah. We're not getting all R. Kelly up in here.
You want to be in the P Club? You're in. You're in.
Yes.
Yes, okay.
I understand.
Yeah, it's like, what did I read? $175 billion? Sure, we got that laying around.
Weren't we just on a mission to cut waste? Was it till we could afford shit like this?
Yeah.
Listen, Daddy needs a new jet and a new Golden Dome. Let's go find some waste.
And of course, I mean, we're still fighting wars like it was, 30, 40 years ago. Oh, speaking of Woody Harrelson, he owns the Woods dispensary, him and Bill Maher.
Yes.
Yeah.
Him and his boyfriend.
Yeah. It was the victim of a burglary.
Oh.
Recently. As happens to many places, many weed dispensaries.
Yeah, because all the cash got to keep on hand because it's still Schedule 1. I thought we were taking care of that Biden administration.
Yep. Probably have cash on hand, probably have, and they also have, stuff that's easy to flip on the street.
Right. Something you can turn into more cash.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
5 men broke the window of the dispensary located on Santa Monica Boulevard and stole cannabis products before fleeing in a black sedan.
Always a black sedan. A friend, a stranger in the black sedan.
I guess this also serves as an advertisement. The Woods has a cannabis consumption lounge with a private smoking cabanas.
Oh.
Equipped with TVs and air conditioning, a bar selling cannabis-infused drinks, and a plant-filled ganja giggle garden.
What?
Ganja giggle
Woody
garden.
must have named that one.
The 8,000 square foot store and outdoor smoking oasis opened in 2022. Springsteen and Trump are fighting. Go figure.
Yeah, Springsteen, he's down in South America or over in Europe. Oh, they're talking shit. And Trump fired back on Truth or Twitter or both or whatever. And then Springsteen dug in harder. And then just Trump is Trump.
What are they arguing about? Politics?
Yes. I think his new album, I think his new album's terrible. Yeah. He needs to get back to his roots.
Springsteen releases EP, including remarks that angered Trump.
To be fair, the first track's called I Hate That Orange Bastard.
Includes an anti-Trump speech. Oh, I got to sign in for everything. The songs included Land of Hope and Dreams, Long Walk Home. Okay, which one was the one that pissed him off? During his intro to Land of Hope and Dreams, Springsteen said it was great to be back in Manchester, calling on the righteous power of art and music, of rock and roll in dangerous times. In my home, the America I love, the America I've written about, that has been a beacon of hope and liberty for 250 years, is currently in the hands of a corrupt, incompetent, and treasonous administration.
Here's the thing. He was in England when he said this. Does he not see any irony in that at all? Did Bruce not pay attention in history class in high school or what?
So this was a live EP that he released then?
Well, I heard he was just playing a show over the weekend.
Rants
like he's
from
doing
UK concert. Okay. Oh, so he's playing the song that's on his new EP, and this was his preamble to it.
Yes.
I gotcha.
Every now and then you gotta, get away from the factory shutting down, and
I mean, maybe he just felt like he had to say something so that people understood that,
Well, actually, you know what? The first thing I thought when I thought that, I was like, weren't you saying this shit 20 years ago about a different president? Like that's like the first thing that honestly came to mind.
Yeah. Well, can he be right both times?
I mean, I guess my point is like everything's still here. Like America hasn't been canceled.
Yeah.
The wheels are still turning.
I don't know. I mean, he's not being completely like doomsday about it. I think he's absolutely right in what he's saying. I don't think he's being extremist in his view at all.
Or is he just mad? He did a podcast with Obama and nobody listened to it because it was boring as fuck.
Did they actually do the
Yes,
podcast?
They did. And it was, the internet was not kind to it.
But they just thought that they were going to do a podcast where they just bullshit.
Hey, I'm Obama and you're Bruce and let's talk.
How many episodes do they end up doing?
Let's see. Renegades, born in the USA.
It's called Renegades?
Yes. No, Renegades, born in the USA.
Yeah.
You have to. Their last show was June 7th of 2021. Yeah, this show only existed went from April 19th, 2021 till June 7th, 2021. So wasn't that long. You got bored after 3 months. I'll call you, Barry. I'll let you know.
Yeah.
We're going to do another one, Bruce.
They found the bust of Jim Morrison after 37 years.
What, so somebody stole it?
Somebody had stolen it, and they found it.
Where's it at? Some dude's garage?
It was, they were carrying out search related to a fraud case when they happened to stumble upon the bust of the front man of the Doors. Okay. No, it's just the history of the bust. Nothing about the circumstance. Like, how did they just happened upon it?
Oh, they just came into the Paris police station one day. There it is! Or however you say that in French. I took a year of French. I should probably know there it is.
French. Yeah, missing its nose, which had been removed before it disappeared. Seems like why steal that?
Why the nose?
Why the nose? I think because the bust itself was hard to remove, so that was like the easiest thing to break off to take with you.
When was the nose? So the nose is pre-37?
Pre-37?
Pre-37 years ago?
Yes, it was. The nose was gone.
Okay.
Prior to it.
So what I'm hearing is Michael Jackson was alive and well. Nobody knows his whereabouts, and the nose has never been recovered. That's all I'm hearing. Now he's dead, and we'll never know. Old Mike's coffin. We're gonna find the nose.
You think he stole the nose off of the bust of Jim Morrison?
It's possible.
Well, the exact circumstances of Morrison's death remain shrouded in mystery. Do they? Most early accounts say the singer died of cardiac arrest in his bathtub.
Hey, he drank himself to death. Everybody knows this.
Drink, drugs, not a healthy lifestyle in general.
If you drink enough alcohol and don't sober up and keep drinking enough alcohol, one of your organs eventually goes, hey, I'm done. Peace.
Yeah. Did we talk about HBO coming back?
No.
Did you know this?
They finally realized their marketing fucking misstep.
Yep. Max, the streamer that we all know and love, has a big shot coming. It's going to be rebranding and will now be known as HBO Max.
So going back to what they were calling it.
Yeah, so it went from HBO to HBO Now to HBO Go to HBO Max to Max, now back to HBO Max.
Yeah, like there was so much like brand
in 6
equity.
Months, they're like, HBO Go is now your go-to.
If something was on HBO, it instantly came with that cachet of like, it's probably, even shitty HBO stuff is pretty good.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, even Entourage was entertaining.
Yeah, for like 3 seasons, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, to take a brand name like that is synonymous with like groundbreaking television in multiple instances, being one of the first cable television shows to offer original programming, that was a big deal in and of itself. And then to have that ability to do adult original programming.
Like, wasn't there 1 year where they just swept the Emmys?
Something that never existed, right? Like, what was, was it Dream On?
Yes.
It was an early show where it had like adult themes and maybe you could see boobs every once in a while and they would swear in it. Like a show like that never had a home anywhere. It was something that they had to be like, hey, we can do this now. And they were on the forefront of that, of now what is the standard on the streamers. And on top of that, like, award-winning documentaries and documentary series, original movies.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just Emmys coming out the ass. That's what people thought of when they thought HBO.
Yes, they thought good shit, good TV. They had weeds. No, Cinemax had weeds.
Yeah, Cinema. Yeah.
Still.
No, I think that was a Showtime show.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, never mind.
Did you watch any of Andor?
No.
Yeah. That's really good.
In May, my free time is Sunday. So, no.
You saw Rogue One, right?
Yes.
Did you like Rogue One?
Mostly.
Yeah. I think the season 2 was really exceptional. But it pretty much shows it's not just about Andor, it shows the formation of the rebels in general and really lays out everything that leads up to Rogue One. So now we kind of have like this really solid storyline that flows from season 1 and 2 of Andor into Rogue One, right into A New Hope.
A lot of Star Wars, man. There's a lot of Star Wars content.
I don't know. There's not that much. They've slowed down quite a bit, actually. Yeah, it's just season 2 is really interesting because we've seen what led up to the formation of the Rebel Alliance. And we know the Rebel Alliance, certainly from the original trilogy, but we never really got to see how does a Rebel Alliance form, right? How do governments decide to break off from the Empire and secretly form an army to rise up against it? And it was taking a lot of its story from history in order to build the Death Star, which was all done in secret. They needed a lot of resources. And one planet had a lot of those resources, or one very special resource in particular. And they intended to take all of that, even if it meant compromising the structural integrity of the planet, essentially dooming anyone who lives on the planet's surface. So in order to do that, they started a PR campaign against the people who live on it. So they were called the Gormans, right? And the Gormans were really
the store.
They were known for they're basically the fashion capital of the galaxy.
Gormans is a fashion store.
Is it?
Are we just not even thinking anymore and we're naming
I don't
stuff?
know. I don't know.
This planet's called J.C. Penney.
I've never heard of Gormans. It's like a department store?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was basically a space analog for the French in before World War II. And the government started spreading the word of like, hey, aren't these Gormans like, kind of snooty? They think they're all like better than us and shit.
What are they called? The Walmartians?
And
we don't like these Gorman people.
Yeah. And, they basically have like undercover agents that work for the Empire, but their job is to start a rebellion on Gorman, right? So that to foment a rebellion so that they can count on, because if they rebel, then the Empire can respond with force and then have a reason to take over the planet. And once they do that, they've got access to all the resources.
Thinking of Dwight right now. Are you or are you not fomenting an insurrection?
And it lays out all the different it starts off with this very chaotic 3 episodes where Cassian Andor, it ends up stuck in a minor skirmish between 2 disagreeing rebel forces, which are really just kids. They're like, maybe the oldest amongst them is like 21, and they end up having a full-on battle between the two of them because they can't agree on what to do next. And even, you have the actual Rebel Alliance coming together, but they're also having to work with other more extremist groups like Saw Gerrera, who we saw in Rogue One, played by what's his nuts, Ghost Dog.
Ghost Dog. I think we were thinking of two different things. I think of an episode of Scrubs that you've probably never seen.
Oh. You ever seen the movie Ghost Dog?
No.
What the fuck's his name? The black actor with the lazy eye.
God. Forrest Whitaker?
Yes.
What? Which one of us is more terrible? You for describing him that way, or me for knowing it?
Who else? Who else would I be talking about? Yeah, there's quite a bit of Saw Gerrera in this, actually, who, is, it's right there. It's fucking Che Guevara. That's who Saw Gerrera is supposed to be. The extremist, that, is might be looked at from the outside as very romantic in their ideals, but to the Rebel Alliance is just a thorn in their side because they've got, their own plans of how to overthrow the existing government. So it was cool. It accomplished so much because all those politics are in there, but it never becomes boring like the fucking, Senate hearings or meetings or whatever they had in the prequel episodes. It didn't get bogged down in its politics.
You like seeing Jar Jar in a royal robe?
Yeah. It gave real power to those senators who, were fighting against the empire. It ends up being like really great action, really great dramatic storytelling, and also manages to sprinkle in all the Easter eggs that you would want to show you. We actually do get a bit of K2SO, played by Alan Tudyk, who is the kind of snarky robot from Rogue One. So, anyway, in conclusion, I know there's a lot of Star Wars out there, as you say.
I have no time for any new TV.
But this is something worth watching. If you ever find yourself with some downtime.
My time for TV is in the fall. And all the free time is
and it'll
post-October.
And it'll still be there.
Dude, that dog has the market cornered on relaxing.
That dog, as long as I'm not moving from this spot, that dog's not moving from that spot.
Are their eyes ever fully open? No. I don't think I've ever seen that dog with his eyes fully open.
So I've told you that she's deaf, right?
Yes.
Yeah, the dog doesn't hear. So that's kind of how it keeps an eye on whether I'm in the room or not, because it's a very clingy dog, and it usually falls asleep looking directly at me. And sometimes it does that all the time where its eyes, like, you're like, are you awake or sleeping? I can't tell. Are you alive?
You're supposed to be deaf. How do you look like we're talking about you?
Yeah. Yeah, she just perked up. Well, because we looked at her.
It's true. Now, and I've now witnessed the dog's eyes fully open. This is the first right here.
That's Nico. She's a sweetheart. She's an American Eskimo, is what they call the breed, which I found out.
Are you allowed to do that? Until
about the, let's say, late 1940s, that breed was a German Spitz, and then they decided that they didn't want a German dog, or like maybe German dogs just weren't as popular a breed post World War II. But so they renamed it American Eskimo. White fluffy dog.
American Inuit.
Yeah.
We change it.
Oh yeah, I guess Eskimo is probably
right.
Yeah,
it's a no word now.
Yeah.
And the cat has joined the fray.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're talking about animals, so let's wrap it up.
Yes.
Yes. Hey, we got a couple more ratings. Keep them coming. 5 stars. Please, thank you.
That
wherever
really
you listen
helps.
to podcasts.
Thank you so much. That's an excellent way to support the cat.
I like that they're 5
podcast.
stars. Keep them coming.
Yeah. I mean, if you don't have something nice to say, just stay home.
Yeah, right. Stay out of the comment section.
Yeah.
I've been doing it for almost a decade now. It's great. Good way to be. And speaking of comment section, social media at Weisman 420 on social media is where we're at. ChristopherMedia.net, where all the rest of the shows live, every single one of them. The Apple Podcatcher, or at least limits us to 300, not the website. So if you go there, every single, I don't even know how. I have lost count at this point.
Double that at least on there, right?
Yeah. Have we done 1,000?
I don't know.
Well, as far as
released
1,000. No, but I'm sure there's probably something somewhere where we can count up everything in the feed and be like, there's this many things in the feed. But
just ask AI.
Yeah,
I'll figure it out.
Yeah, exactly. The wave of the future. Yeah, ChristopherMedia.net. So thank you for listening and stay high.
Stay high.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.